So just a few updates on my 2023 Colorado and maybe a couple tips. I did get the front tow hooks painted underneath, and as you can see the air dam was removed, and I did explain that in the last video. If you noticed the nice beading on the truck, I just want to go over this real quick. I've tried a lot of products. Chemical Brothers, Adams, Turtle Wax, and as far as the coatings go, I prefer the Adams Graphene. It's easy to apply, but my recommendation is spray it on a rag like this, fold it up nice and neat, and spray it on the rag, and then do one section at a time. Wait about 30 seconds to at least a minute before wiping it off. It beads up nicely, and it's lasted the longest compared to the others. Down here in Florida, it's pretty rough on these coatings. Chemical Brothers lasted about 3 months before I needed another coat. This one actually lasts almost 6. Another tip is on the inside for all your plastics. Interior is the McGuire Supreme Shine. Works excellent on the inside and leaves a nice shiny look to it. And I'll show you in a second. Got my sunshade up, so it's gonna be a little dark, but and this is kind of a 500-mile review too. So everything seems to be working great. I did have that little outage I mentioned with the screen. It just was a one-time thing, came back and never had an issue since. Numerous starts since then. Someone on one of my other reviews did mention he had the same issue, and they said it was a short in a wire. And I did see a complaint on one of the views about not having a switch for the light. Well, and having to dig into the screen console to get it to work. You don't have to. You literally go right up here. You see right there, there's a little light. Click that, you have access to your lights right at the top. It's pretty simple. That was a little tip there. I leave mine on auto and it works fine. Everything else works fine. Again, the truck is smooth. I really like it. The only issue I have is I like to mod my 4x4s, and there's not a lot out right now for it. I do know if they have for a 2023 Silverado a K&N filter, and I am liking K&N. I do have put it on a bunch of my vehicles. My last vehicle was actually a Mustang EcoBoost, and one of the big things people do to that to boost the horsepower is upgrade the intercooler, which should be right in the front of the truck at the bottom. You can actually see it, and there's vents. I'm sure that's gonna come. It's kind of hidden, but it's down in the bottom, closed in cold weather, and they're open to allow airflow in, and keeping that turbocharger cooled is what's going to give you their horsepower. I did have my Mustang tuned with a Cobb, and I'm really waiting to do a couple more upgrades on this, and a colder intake would be nice. I do believe in them. I know there's some reviews out there that say you don't get anything. I've always had a boost in horsepower and torque, and if this thing goes up anymore, it'll be perfect. It's actually pretty nice right now. Pretty happy with it. Again, it's 500 miles and the thing runs excellent. Haven't had any issues and really love the truck right now. And we'll be checking underneath for any rust issues. And I saw a comment about rust. Well, that can be common nowadays in a lot of vehicles. People just don't get under them enough unless you're doing 4x4s and you're modding. Jeeps are the worst. I had a Jeep, and before I started modding it, the whole thing looked brown underneath. It was so rusted. It was pretty typical. You can spray bed liner on it after sanding, but that's an awful lot of work. They do have rust converters that literally convert the rust back to like a metal, turns it black, and it actually protects it and works very good. I've used it on boat trailers and stuff in the past. So if you see that, just look for the Rust-Oleum, and it's a rust inhibitor or converter. You should be able to find that just about anywhere. And as far as the cover goes, I did want to go over that briefly. So it's a hard metal cover. It is aluminum. It's a trifold. It's not super expensive, not like one of those $1,100 ones. And it works perfect. It's great. So let me open it up and show you underneath. So as you can see, there's a hookup point here. It just pops down. You can undo this to roll it. And then there's 2 strap locks in the back that you can lock it. And you do lose that one section. And that's it. And then there's 2 in the back. If you can see them way in the back corner. I got this off of eBay, and I think it was under 350 bucks. Pretty sure, maybe 360. I don't know. Better than 1,200, and it's not a drop in here. There's no water in here whatsoever. It just rained, as you can see. And again, this is the Adams Graphene. I even coated it in Adams Graphene. Works great. And that's about it for this round. And I'm checking every day for a cold air intake and a filter. I can't stand the paper filters that these manufacturers put in them. And I guess that's why K&N and the rest of them are in business. Give us that. Otherwise, love the truck. Again, I'm at 500 and something miles on it. And yeah, I'll do some more videos soon.